For our group project, we wanted to look at the comparison between spiral and elliptical galaxies. The question we want to pursue was, are the colors and masses of spiral and elliptical galaxies related? And if they were related, what would be the relationship between the two? The hypothesis that we came up with is that there would be a correlation between the color of elliptical and spiral galaxies and their masses. According to our earlier zoology assignment, when we found out that spiral galaxies are actually more blue than elliptical galaxies are, then we would think that, like the stars, spiral galaxies would be more massive.
To answer our question, we first looked at the histograms of elliptical and spiral galaxies' log mass. Histograms are very similar. They are both very normal, but the elliptical galaxies seem to be shifted a little right compared to the spiral. This suggests that elliptical galaxies are more massive on average, which goes against our hypothesis. To further support these findings, we looked to the means of the different types of galaxies. Upon seeing the summary statistics for both types of galaxies, we can see that elliptical galaxies are generally more massive than spiral galaxies. At first, the difference doesn't seem like much since it is only 0.388. We have to remember that this is the difference between the logs of the masses. After converting the logs back into the actual masses, the difference turns out to be 3.34 times 10 to the 10th, which is obviously a lot. This again shows that elliptical galaxies are more massive than spiral galaxies on average, which is not what we anticipated.
After realizing that mass and color aren't related, we were still curious as to why spirals are more blue than ellipticals. It turns out it is because there is more ongoing star formation in spirals and they are creating younger, newer stars. This would also mean that elliptical galaxies have less ongoing star formation, leaving them more red. From the color, we can determine that if a galaxy emits more blue light, they have younger stars and are a younger galaxy, and the same would be true vice versa, meaning that spirals are generally younger than ellipticals. Now, looking at color can be tricky sometimes because of the Doppler effect, which can change the frequency of a light wave and in turn change the color itself. This happens between when a star or galaxy emits light and when we observe it, so nothing is ever a guarantee.
After learning about what makes spiral galaxies more blue, we decided to check if the radius of the galaxy had anything to do with the mass. Upon seeing the scatter plot of the two variables, with the radius on the x-axis and mass on the y-axis, we can see that there is an obvious positive correlation between the radius and the mass of the galaxy. To conclude, we found the mass of a galaxy does not determine if the galaxy appears blue or red. Instead, mass and the radius of a galaxy are related. If we had more time in the study, we would want to explore if there were any other similarities between galaxies and individual stars. Our incorrect hypothesis forced us to rethink and be creative, which led us to investigating the correlation between the mass and radius. This process was very similar to what was shown in the pinball video. The process of science is nonlinear. We had to backtrack once we learned our hypothesis was wrong, and that led us down a different path and to new ideas.